Hello, hope you're well. Today I played Signalis and it's one of the purest modern survival horror games, and we are here to discuss why that is. I have spent my whole morning and afternoon playing Signalis and I have been hooked, and I wanted to share my experiences and opinions, so I am going to structure this video in two ways. We are going to discuss the game as normal, and in between our discussions I will show my gameplay with live commentary. Please do not worry about any late game spoilers, and I will not be showing any late game footage or will talk of any twists. So let's not waste any more time. I'm sure you're interested to find out why Signalis stands as a true modern survival horror classic. Signalis is an indie survival horror set in a dystopian future where humans have colonised the solar system, and we play as an android called Elster who wakes from cryosleep to find that shit has hit the fan, and now you have to journey deep into cosmic horrors, and what awaits is truly morbid. So it starts straight away, throws you straight into it. Okay, it's got a really unique art style to it. Okay, it's got a really good atmosphere so far. The lock is defected, the door cannot be opened. Okay. Oh, the shadow is... that is really, really good. That's... yeah, they've done a good job there with that. The faded photograph is stuck to the LDAM controls. Pick up the photograph, yes. The ship's control panel. Judging from the readout, there's no chance it'll ever fly again. Oh. So it looks like we've maybe crash landed. Yet the ship is crashed in an icy landscape. Okay. So we were obviously in like a cryo sleep, and then we've woken up and our ship's crashed on some frozen planet or something. Okay. If you're a fan of survival horror, especially the old PS2, PS1 era, you will find yourself right at home. With limited resources, item puzzles and backtracking through a claustrophobic and maze-like setting, interacting with every nook and cranny to find ammo, health or key items. You can see how much the devs loved the classics such as Resident Evil, Silent Hill and Alone in the Dark, and have taken things that work with the more modern horrors like Dead Space. Now I have to go off on a little tangent, but it's a good time to be a fan of the classic survival horror. A little while ago, what was my favourite genre was dead, and we had horror games either being action horror or old run and hide and shit yourself simulators like Amnesia and Outlast. As much as I enjoy some of them games, you can never really beat the slow dread as you are low on health and constantly judging who to waste bullets on and who just to run past. With games like Tormented Souls, Phobia and hopefully the new Callisto Protocol, I have been spoilt for choice the last few years. Right, now back to the game. the sound effects and the music in the background really makes it unsettling, and the way like your shadow and even like the reflections on here, it's very, very, very impressive. They've done a really, really good job with this. Oh, it's kind of scared me. It's the scariest save title I've ever seen. No running in the hallways. Be mindful of your neighbour. Everyone can hear you run. I like that they're kind of giving like tips of the game through like these posters. I think that's really clever. Don't run in the hallways. I'm running in the hallway. I'm running in the hallway. Oh. Let's sort it. Turn back before it's too late. I'm looking for this woman. Have you seen her? I don't know her, but she might be one of the workers. All Gestalt workers were sent to the mine below the facility. If she's still alive, she's probably down there. There's an access elevator to the mine shaft 1 level below. You'll need an administration key to use it. Oh no. I'll be out of here as soon as this repair patch stops my bleeding. You should get out of here too. I don't know who that woman is, but she's probably dead by now. If you still want to go, good luck. Signalis caught me off guard the more deeper I got into it, with its Lovecraftian and surreal world, with a cold and dark atmosphere that's similar to Carpenter's The Thing. There are a lot of moments where things don't make a lot of sense, and it's not a traditional way to tell a story, but that adds to the unfamiliar feeling that seeps into your mind. The game tackles so much and asks so many questions to the point I really don't think many will fully understand what everything means. And that's not a bad thing. Sometimes not fully understanding something adds to the uneasiness of what your mind tries to process. Signalis tells its story a few different ways. That of first person segments that feed you drops of who you are and the characters around us. Then there's cutscenes that are simple but effective 2D comic style animations. There's also a lot of collectibles you can read that build the world and what has happened here through the perspectives of the workers and civilians. This all works well together for you to get an understanding of the lore and the story. You also meet a few characters along the way, and straight away it reminded me of the Silent Hill games, where you just feel that something is off with every character. You never really know who to trust. For example, you get introduced to this lady, and she's stood over a corpse holding a knife, then acts suspiciously normal. Now this made me skeptical right away. Oh, a pistol. Yes, we will take this pistol because there's something going on here. Aperture keycard. Nice. Okay, so let's equip this pistol. Nice. And then you aim it like this. You can slightly walk around with it. Got a little laser sight as well. Okay. Seems simple enough. Oh, you fucker. Pick it. Oh, okay. That was pretty scary. That was good though. Okay, well I can't reload, so I don't have any more ammo. How much ammo do I've got? Seven bullets left. Okay. Okay. Well, what could go wrong? There's a lot of holes in this game. And we'd just like to just enter all the holes. We ain't scared of nothing. Oh. Oh no. Oh, this isn't good. Okay. Oh, I've got a feeling some of these are going to stand up. The closest way I can describe how the game plays is that of the original Resident Evil games. You have these large facilities to explore that are all entwined and twisted. You start off doing a lot of backtracking, but as you solve the mysteries, you find the environment circles around, which allows for you to be able to get around much more efficiently. Signalis excels in level design in almost every way. With the sci-fi dystopian setting, with the dark and dingy rooms, it's actually pretty creepy to explore. The way the areas branch out like rotten trees, just to find that it all interlocks and weaves together. And as tense as it can be to explore, you have no choice unless you want to be empty on all of your resources and barely scrape by, because this game is pretty hardcore. Almost my entire playthrough, I was on the verge of running dry on ammo, and with the fact I can only carry 6 items, I had to choose carefully on how much health and tools I can take, as I need room to pick up key items. Now, one thing, despite I understand why they have done it, but only being able to carry 6 items was a pain sometimes, because I needed to carry health, weapons, bullets and tools, like a flashlight or a stun baton. That only left me with 2 spaces, and sometimes there'd be 2 or 3 items in one room. This meant I had to run back and forth to my store box, and sometimes it can be quite a long run. I haven't had this much stress with item management since Resident Evil 0. Oh, this looks pretty bad. Oh. Let's get as far away as possible. Oh. Oh. Oh, that was good. Just one shot. Okay, that was good use of saving me ammo. Only you took 1 bullet. It's breathing. Ooh. Oh, there's another one. But let's get her, watch it down. Nice. So far we're doing pretty well with conserving ammo. Up the Mansa key. Nice. Oh. Get it quick, bang. why is it not picking that up? There we go. That's the other half. I don't need to waste ammo on her if she's not even looking. Another factor I had to take into consideration was the paths I took to certain areas. Because the lack of resources, I had to take a mental note of the enemies around and consider which ones to keep alive and which ones to kill in order to save that precious ammo. And to make things worse, when you kill a monster, after a certain amount of time they will get back up. The only way to keep them down is to burn the bodies, exactly like Resident Evil Remake. So the best thing to do is learn the layout, plan ahead of who needs to go and who you can easily avoid. Now I know a lot of the things I'm saying you could repeat for most good survival horror games, but that's the reason why this succeeds for me, because it makes me think that way and I have to adapt my playstyle to that of the original Resident Evil and Silent Hill. It has a pretty unique art style too, like up close the models look as if they were pulled straight from a PS1 classic. However, the gameplay camera sits pretty high above Elster, and with the incredible lighting and colours mixed with the ominous sound design disguises the graphics, and there are points that this game looks brilliant. One thing in particular I enjoyed was how my shadow would stretch down the hallways and move as I moved towards the light. That really blew me away. And back to the PS1 graphics I mentioned. That wasn't me bitching, I really love that aesthetic, but I know that it will bother some. Mysterious artifact. Plate of Eternity. Oh. Oh. Okay. Okay, this is strange. Yeah, I understand. Okay. It was odd. Have I got that radio now? Why can I use that, or is that... Oh, okay, I've got the radio now. So I have a feeling. I just... One 8073. 18073. I knew it. I'm so clever. Here we go. Picked up identification card. Nice. The gameplay is pretty simple. And again, if you're familiar with the older style of survival horrors, you will understand the combat. When you aim, you can barely move. You pop a few bullets into creatures, but the one thing I really stress is to make sure you stomp on them to when they fall, and that will save you some of your rounds. There are various types of weapons like pistol, shotty, and magnum, plus on the side you can have tools like these one-time use stun rods that can really get you out of a pickle. Other than exploring and shooting shit, the game is full of puzzles, and this is one of the highlights for me. Puzzles are hard to pull off because you don't want them to be made for infants where you can get your pet dog to solve it, but at the same time you don't want to keep getting hit by a brick wall made of puzzles, and you'd have to end up looking a guide to figure them out. But the balance on almost all of these are close to perfect, Now I adored Tormented Souls, but I thought it had some puzzles so random that I would never have known what to do. But Signalis really makes you have to think just long enough to make you feel rewarded for solving these puzzles and not tedious, so kudos to you. Issa, I must have fallen asleep. Oh, this is that girl. This is the girl from... with the knife, I believe. It's like a prison more than a school. Oh. One thing I have relatively mixed feelings with, I think, is with the enemy design. As much as they kind of remind me of necromorphs in the way that they're sort of a bit twisted and their skin's peeling off, at the same time there isn't that much variety. Most of them look very similar and they kind of just walk towards you, try and hit you. There are a few boss fights scattered throughout and some of them are actually pretty good. I will only show a little bit from one of the boss fights, but overall I think the enemy design may be one of the weakest things for me. But at the same time, the way that they scream and walk towards you is also very good. I just wish there was a little bit more variety. Maybe something with more of a long range attack. I mean, you do get ones with like shields, you get some that come up from the ground to sort of ambush you. But I just think there needs to be a tiny bit more variety in it. I also came across a couple of technical issues. There was one or two times where I couldn't open a door or go down a ladder or even pick something up because it just wasn't registering, and I had to sort of walk back and forth a little bit until it finally got. But that happened 2 or 3 times through my entire playthrough, so it didn't really spoil anything. I did also have a few sound issues. There was a few times where it would just play a sound over again for like 10 seconds, or I would shoot and the gunfire sound effect would be about 3 or 4 seconds later. But again, it didn't happen very often. It's just me being nitpicking and just letting you guys know what I experienced. Down we go. Bang. Took it down. Took him down. But overall, this game is fantastic. Let's ask the question to why this game is a survival horror modern classic. Because it does what the old stuff does so well. Sometimes you need a game to sometimes step backwards and go back to its roots. Especially when you've had so many years where it's tried to drift away so far from the survival horror. When you get these games that come in and they feel like old, it's that nostalgia that gets you as well. And this really captures that. But at the same time, it does take what works from other games, more modern games as well. So it's a really perfect blend. It's fantastic with its unique, surreal, dark story and the way it tells it so untraditionally. It's incredible level design. The puzzles are fun and they're not tedious. Really just felt like I was playing an old survival horror classic. So please go and check out this game if you're into that genre. And even if you're not, go and try it out. A lot of the younger people today probably didn't play the old classics, and this might be a good starting point for you to get into the survival horror if you've never really explored that before. I hope I've answered the questions that you guys are curious about. I hope that if you've played this game that you really enjoyed it just as much as me, and if you haven't played it, I hope that this makes you want to go and play it. Like I say, I've left out spoilers because I really just want you guys to go and play it yourself and experience it yourself. And with that, I want to have a massive thank you for my Scorn video. It's currently doing a lot better than all of my other videos, so I'm really glad that you guys are clicking. Don't forget to keep sharing it with your friends. Go and hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to leave a like. Please comment, because I'm loving reading the comments and starting discussions with you. Yeah, just big thank you. And pieces, juices, juices, pieces. Take care all.